Hey, I'm Nick from Define My Day. I'm the creator of Define My Day. And today I thought I would answer some questions that I've been getting from customers through email and the stuff we see online through our posts. So I wanted to get into some stuff that we commonly see and help you guys through it. So I'll get right into it because there's one in particular that I really want to get into right now. I just got an email today. And I'll shorten the woman's name. We'll just call her D for this one. And she says, Nick, so how do I stop from being distracted? I do have distraction problems, especially when I have to do something like clean up the house or work on furniture. I hate that about myself, and I'm not able to stop it. My distractions keep me stuck where I am and I lend up, to, or I'm sorry, I tend to just giving up on life. I'm so unhappy. I need help. Okay, so aside from me butchering that email, um, what I want to say is I've been there, I am there, and I think everybody is there to a point. And it's distraction is our biggest problem. It's the enemy of productivity in general. And I think today, especially, we have so many things pulling at our time. We're always distracted. There's always something just a little bit easier to do, a little bit more pleasant to do than what we really need to do. So, what I would say, there's four things that I would do to get over distractions. Number one, I think, and this would be five. So, number one, I would identify what my main distractions are, right? Those things that keep pulling me away and be aware of it so that, if I'm on my phone constantly and it's stopping me from doing what I'm doing, or I pull my head up and it's an hour and a half later, I'm going to bed late, I'm not waking up and doing what I need to do, it's stopping me from doing my work, then I need to identify that for myself. So that's primarily what you have to do is identify what those distractions are. But how do you get over them, or how do you get the work done that you need to get done, but don't, or distract yourself so that you can procrastinate and not get that work done? And I'm talking about work that we do need to get done. I mean, there's some work, sometimes we just busy ourselves with work we think we need to do, but we really don't. That's another video. Right now, let's talk about this one thing. How do we get to do the work we need to do? One thing, flat out, sometimes we just need to do it, right? We just need to say, today I need to get this thing done and I'm going to do it at this time, right? We just got to decide to do it, set a time to do it, and just go do it. Like, we got to stop making excuses for ourselves. We got to stop just finding all these creative ways to not do what we need to do, right? And I get it. I've been there. I do it now. And then when I finally do it, when I finally get it done, I feel so much better. And it drains us. It's like you're saying here, I hate that about myself. Wouldn't it be so freeing to get rid of that feeling? That oh god, it's so heavy, right? We have to get rid of that. So the way to do that, the way to get rid of that feeling of self-loathing is to just do what we know we need to do. It's a simple equation in that way. So, now, look, okay, we got to do it, right? This is it. Discipline. We got to go do it, right? How do we make it a little bit easier to do? So the second thing I do to get the things done that I need to do is I try to make that time just a little bit worthwhile, more worthwhile. So I try to listen to a podcast. So we'll say this. Say cleaning the house because that's what you brought up. Doing dishes, vacuuming, cleaning the house, mowing the lawn, cutting the hedges, all the things that are just monotonous that I hate doing. It's just a struggle for me to get going. What do? Is I throw in my headphones and I listen to an educational podcast, or I listen to a book, and I make that time my educational time. So I have as one of my daily habits for me is to educate myself. I try to get a half an hour in every day to educate myself. So I can do that if I look at that time as being useful. So when I'm scrubbing dishes or mowing the lawn, if I make that time that educational time, it takes on a whole greater purpose. And I almost look forward to that time away from actively doing things to doing the dishes or whatever else I need to do. So use that time wisely in another way so that you feel like you're getting more from it than just clean dishes or a clean house. All right. So then the third one is to push for more reps. And this comes from me trying to get into better health, right? Better health. You want to, push yourself, push your body just a little bit further. One more rep, five more reps, 5 more seconds, 10 more seconds, whatever, whatever works for you. I try to do that also with doing dishes or whatever, right? Like going back to the housework type thing. If there's something you need to do, just say, I'm going to give it 5 minutes. And then when you get to about that 5 minute mark, say, I'm going to go 1 more minute. I'm going to go 30 more seconds. I'm going to go 10 more seconds. I can wash one more dish. I can vacuum one more room, right? And if we do that, we're sort of building that grip muscle. You're doing the same thing you're doing with your biceps. You're building more muscle by pushing yourself just a little bit further, and you're going to get used to it. And then after a while, 10 minutes seems like nothing, and 15 minutes is fine. And then, you're going to go for 20 minutes, and 20 minutes will be okay. And then you're going to go for 25. I've seen this personally with meditation. So I started with 2 minute meditations and then 5 minute meditations. And I'm telling you, it stunk. 5 minutes seemed like forever. Now I do 20 minutes, and 20 minutes, almost you get that feeling of, wow, it's over already. And I feel like I could have gone longer. And maybe at some point when I have a little bit more free time, I'll be able to do 30. But right now it's still kind of a struggle for me to fit in 20 minutes, and I'm working on that, right? And so that's the whole thing. I'm not perfect with it. I am not perfect. I'm still pushing myself daily to get a little bit better. And then the last thing here is to don't make it perfect. It's not all or nothing, right? It's not, I'm going to do the entire house today, or I'm going to do, all of this stuff. If you make it too big, you wear yourself out. You wear yourself out, and then it just gets to be this thing you don't want to do again. So for me, I'll give you a good example. Today, I had a box. It was a rechargeable air pump for a inflatable bed, right? And it's been sitting right here for the weekend. It came in from Amazon, and I didn't, for some reason, just didn't pick it up and put it where it's supposed to go with the inflatable bed. And I'm looking at it this morning, and I'm going, that would take me 5 seconds. I don't have to clean my entire office right now, but I should just pick up that one thing. And my eyes went straight to it. I've been looking at it for 3 days. I need to pick it up and put it where it needs to go. And if we just do that, like picking up things in the backyard, I don't have to do an entire backyard clean. I can just go down there and pick up a couple of things, go back inside, and tomorrow I'll do a little bit more. So those are my 4 things that we need to do. We need to decide to do it. We need to sort of man up or one up and just go out there and decide to get it done. And no excuses. We've already decided to do it once. We don't need to argue with ourselves anymore. Let's just get it done. Number 2 is to use that time wisely in a different way. In a way, distract yourself. So educate yourself, whatever, even if you're listening to music, something that's going to be, a little bit added quality, added benefit to that activity. And then we want to push for more reps or challenge yourself to just go a little bit longer each time. So maybe you only do this activity for a couple of minutes and then you just build on that. And then the last one is to be able, allow yourself to chunk it into smaller things. So you're only doing, a little bit of a project and not the entire project, and you don't wear yourself out. So that is my answer to your question, Dee. I appreciate your question, and I've been there, and I'm still there. I have come up with this book, right? This is my tool to fix my problems, and that's I'm not gonna be the guy that goes, I don't have any more problems. That's never gonna happen for me. So I'm gonna keep using this, and as I keep using it, I'm gonna come up with different problems, and I'm gonna solve those with this process every day. But distractions are huge. We have to be cognizant of those distractions, and we want to start focusing more on what we need to do to get ourselves to that next place. We need to focus on what really matters and start disengaging from those distractions. I'm going to take a quick look here and see. Looks like we have a couple people watching, so I want to watch and make sure. If anybody has any comments and you want to ask a question while I'm on, please do so. I'm perfectly able to answer your questions while we're doing this. And my page is loading slow. Hold on one second. It's probably loading slow because I'm running the video, right? Maybe I'm using bandwidth. Okay. No questions. I don't see any questions. Good. All right. So, um, hi, Belinda. I see you on there. Thanks for joining me. Um, what other questions do we have here? Let's go to why is it 4 weeks? Well, a lot of people, before you buy it, you know it's 4 weeks, but some people get a little bit surprised by that. It's 4 weeks because we're trying to help you build repetition. So if it were 30 days, if you started on a Monday, then you would end on well, I think it's Wednesday, right? If you do that math. And then you would be starting a new book on Wednesday and then blah, blah, blah. It would never be the same. I want you to pick the best day for you to start working on it. And then every end of every week is going to fall on the same day. The end of every book is going to fall on the same day every time. And you're going to get into that rhythm and routine. That's why. So it's not so we can sell more books. In reality, it's only one more book a year, and so 13, and we give discounts on the year package anyway. So that's not my intent with it. The intent is that you get on that routine and rhythm. That's why it's 28 days. I don't want you to align it to a month either. Like I don't want anybody going, okay, I got to start it on the first of the month, and that be on a Thursday. I want you to start the day that's easiest for you. If you work a shift, it can be a different day of the week than Sunday or Monday, but I want you to find that perfect day for you to set up your book, set up your week, and pre-plan your week. Um, some people have a problem thinking that they might be doing this wrong. And I will tell you that that is almost impossible. As long as you take the time to write every day and review your progress, you cannot do it wrong. I've changed the way I've used this over the past couple of months. So today, my priority number one is work, right? So priority number one is bills, paying my taxes, taking care of loose ends that I need to do. Priority number two is prep for my trip that I have to go on in a couple of days, and there's a couple of things under there that I have to do. That's not always what's on here. Last week I had a couple of days where my priority was be a leader, stay centered, stay focused. Don't get into stuff that doesn't matter. So it can be sort of existential or broad, or it can be very specific if you have a specific project. But it changes with how things are going in your life. You can focus on what you need to focus on as long as you're going through the process. Defining what that priority is for you based on your weekly milestones and monthly goals, taking time to appreciate what you have, looking forward to what is coming to you in the future, and then reviewing your progress, why you didn't do what you intended to do today. And any answer for that is okay too, as long as it's honest. Maybe you really didn't want to do that thing that you set out as a priority, and then you have to explore why you didn't want to do it. Or maybe you didn't have time because you let other things creep in. Maybe your distractions crept in, or maybe other people's priorities crept in. All of that stuff, it's all about gaining awareness to be better at life, to be better at planning where you want to go. This is sort of a map and a guidebook for you to navigate your days. That it's not going to tell you everything, but it's so that you can better develop that awareness and that visibility of where you need to go. So you stay on the right path for yourself. And we talked about waiting a little bit. I want to wait until blah, blah, blah. My advice is to not wait. If you wait, you're always going to be waiting for that next optimal time. The best thing to do is just sort of get that train to pull away from the station. Just start moving no matter how slow you need to go. And don't wait. Don't wait for the first of the month. Don't wait till you're back from vacation. Don't wait till their project is over, until the kids are out of the house or whatever it is. Just start doing it now, because this is going to be more useful. This awareness and focus is going to be more useful when things come up. And it's going to be that process that you fall back on to keep you on track. 28 days to make a habit. Yeah, Abria. I don't want to say your name wrong. Abria. Hi, thanks for joining me. 28 days to make a habit. And, I actually believe for me, it's a lot longer than 28 days, because I can do this book in 28 days and completely forget about it day 29. So for me, I think it's probably months for me. Other people can jump in and get on it in a week or two. But for me, maybe I'm stubborn. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Don't have time is one I see on our notes or on our posts a lot. Who has time for this stuff? If I had time to do it, then I wouldn't need to do it. That sort of thing. And I think that that's a common problem that goes back to that distraction thing, is that we don't have time because we're not focused, right? If you wake up, from the moment you wake up, if you're busy from the moment you wake up until you go to bed, and your mind is still going once you get to bed, then something's wrong. Or that's not how we're supposed to live. There has to be some intent and some focus and some ability to decompress. And it happens where we get into times of life where we have to just sort of be in reaction mode, but that shouldn't be the default mode. You know, we need to take time to figure out what's best for us so that we can focus on what we need to do to improve our situation. And so we take that time, if it's 10 minutes, and in reality, we have 10 minutes. I guarantee there's people that say they don't have time. You know, they're going into Starbucks and standing in line in Starbucks. They're sitting on their phone, going through social media. They're watching TV, which you can say it's relaxing for you, but in reality, it's just stealing time. That doesn't mean I don't watch TV. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying don't overdo it, right? There's things we engage in conversations that don't matter. We're leaking time everywhere. And again, that's the point of this, to figure out where we're leaking time. And the more you gain that awareness, and the more you say, I didn't do all my things today, why didn't I get them done? And then you can honestly answer that question, well, because I spent a half an hour talking to Susie, and all she wanted to talk about were, you know, her kids and how one did this to the other one and blah, blah, blah. Well, did we need to be involved in that? Did it improve anybody's life? You know, her complaining about it and you listening to it, did that matter to anybody? Maybe not. Maybe it did. Maybe you're there, you were a kind person for her to lean on. But if it's happening too much, if it's distracting you from what you need to be doing, then we need to assess whether we want to continue to engage in that conversation. And we've all been there. We all get into those phone calls where we're like, oh my goodness, okay, we need to cut this off. I need to go do some other work. So just be aware, and then the more you're aware, the more you can adjust and improve that situation. But we all have time. We have time to do this for 10 minutes. We have time to focus on our own health for a while in the morning before we engage in everything else that goes on in the day. There is time. And we're fooling ourselves if we tell ourselves that there is no time. There is. You can find it. Why would anyone need this? I actually even had somebody the other day write, I have a focus journal or a focus tool. It's called My Brain. Yeah, okay. I mean, you know, we can be snarky and say that, but in reality, studies have proven that taking time to write down what you want to focus on makes it real for your brain and makes it more concrete and keeps you focused throughout the day, even if you don't carry this with you. And then journaling it helps you reflect on what happened, and it improves your ability to analyze what is going on and your awareness of why you did certain things or reacted in certain ways or why you're feeling a certain way. So, yeah, I mean, we can say, well, who needs this? I have my own brain up here between my ears. We all do. But incredibly smart people, incredibly successful people use journaling and writing down their priorities on a daily basis because that's what helps them become successful. And if you are already successful not doing this, chances are you're probably doing something that's very compatible, right? This is just the roadmap that I used for myself because this is what worked for me. I needed something quick. I needed to just jump in, do it, and get out and get on with my day. And that's why I have it the way it is. It's very open-ended. It's also very quick. There's not a whole lot of pages where you need to do a lot every day because I needed in, out, gone, do my work, right? And that's what this is for. This is just to give me a little bit of a touchstone so I can come back and focus on what I need to do. So that's, you know, why would anyone need this? More people need this than are using it. It's unfortunate, but the people that need to use it most are the ones that are least likely to use it because of many reasons. But everybody needs it. Everybody needs some form of this. It doesn't have to be Define My Day. If you don't like Define My Day's process, there's probably one out there for you. But everybody needs some component of this process to move forward. Thank you. I appreciate it. She's Arbia says good information. I appreciate it. I really just, I was struck by Dee's email, and I felt like I really had to jump on and answer that. And I could have just replied back the way I normally do, but I think it's something that's very common for a lot of people. I think distractions are, man, it's such a huge problem. And we use them actively to not do what we really need to do. We're wired to just do the easy stuff. We're wired, when we need to do certain things, and I do it myself. I know before bed I should read if I haven't read today, but instead it's easier to pop on Netflix and just kind of veg out on the couch for a little bit before bed. It's easier to do that. And we can make excuses, and I make excuses of why it's okay. But if we really want to to achieve the improvement that we want for ourselves, we have to take the time to do the hard stuff. And sometimes we don't like doing the hard stuff. But if we want that improvement that we're seeking, we have to, right? You want to invest the time now. And it's funny because, it's like exercise. We work out until we reach our goal weight, and then we stop exercising, and then all of a sudden we're not at our goal weight anymore, right? And sometimes we're worse than when we started. So I guess the only way to say this is, like, once you start a process like this, you really can't stop. You don't have to keep using Define My Day, but you really can't stop doing the healthy things that got you to where you want to go. There's that saying, we do what works until it works. You have to sort of get into the mindset that you're going to do these things daily, and it's going to become part of who you are. And it's not always that hard. It's not always going to be hard like that. It just gets a little bit easier, a little easier to digest, a little easier to perform. And when you really start to see the tangible results, and that might take a while, but once you see those results, you're not going to want to go back. You're not going to want to go back to watching TV. I was a 3 hour a night TV watcher. There wasn't a night on the weekdays that there wasn't 6 TV shows that I had to watch. And if I didn't watch them that night, I'd catch them on Hulu the next day. And that's not me anymore. Now I'm going through 10 seasons of Friends right now, and I've just had it on during lunch right now because I did listen to my podcast already today. I did read already today. And so I gave myself 20 minutes of a Friends episode while I was watching or while I was eating lunch. So I'm not saying we have to give it all up, but if I were to sit on the couch and watch TV for 3 hours every evening, I would feel incredibly bad. And I couldn't do it. I have too many other things I need to do and that I like doing. And I have too many other benefits that I've achieved by cutting all of that out. So it seems hard at first, and it seems like, oh, I don't know that I could live like this the rest of my life. But the results are worth it. Absolutely worth it. So don't think that, don't think that you can start this, fix your life, and then go back to the old ways. That doesn't happen. But it does get easier as you figure this stuff out and what's acceptable for you and what's not. So yeah, keep that in mind as you're going through this. I'm a great example of somebody that works out until they reach their goal weight and then stops and thinks, oh, I can eat this and I can, that's my weight has gone up and down 30 pounds in the past couple of years. But now I'm determined to take it off slowly. I'm working into a routine that I can do for myself every day. And while I might not have some crash diet work for me in the next couple of months, I know that through the daily habit of me going to the gym and walking in for an hour and then walking out, I'm not the best looking guy in there. I'm not the lightest, leanest, or most muscular guy in there. And sometimes I don't feel like I know what the heck I'm doing. But if I keep walking in there and walking out every day, in 6 months, I'm going to look a lot different. I'm going to feel a lot different. And in a year, I'm going to look and feel a lot different. And it's the same thing with anything healthy, including this, is that, you just keep showing up every day. Keep showing up for yourself every day, and you're going to improve, and it's going to sneak up on you. And then one day you're going to pick your head up, and life is going to be a lot different. And we see that a lot, and I've done it myself. We see that a lot with people that stop the Define My Day process. They don't order another one, or they just don't feel like they need it anymore. And then they start, and I've felt that feeling of drifting back, right? And you sort of look around one day and go, whoa, I'm going the wrong direction. And you head back into the process that got you where you really wanted to go. So I hope that helped. I hope anybody that watches this, I hope it helped. D, I'm going to make sure you see this video because I feel you. I can relate to what you're talking about there, especially with the housework. I hate it. I hate doing yard work, and there are some things that I've just decided that I'm not good at, and I'll never be good at, and maybe it's not worth my time. And then there's other things that I just sort of have to try to force myself to do and find creative ways to make it work for me. So that's it. Give yourself rewards. That's actually very smart. So I added that into Define My Day last year. I have on each day, today I will enjoy, or today I get to enjoy. It's right here, right? And that is my reward system. There are two things I can do with that. One, it's sort of an appreciation. It's an anticipation to appreciate something later on. But I've used it very often as a reward system. So, if I feel like I've completed all of my priorities through the day to the level that I set for myself, then I get to enjoy, that Friends episode or wings or a beer or whatever. I get to enjoy this. Sometimes I get to enjoy going to bed on time. It's always different. It's all, can be, it just depends on how that day is going. But that reward system it's very effective. And I can't remember where I read this, but uh, there's no rest before work. And so it's very much like that. Like you can't reward yourself before you get the work done. So no matter what you're doing, if you build in that work reward system and don't allow it to be flip-flopped, then you train yourself to put in the work to earn that reward that you want. It's very effective. It's very effective. And I've used it, I've gamed myself very much over the years with that exact process. Yeah, I want to go out tonight and watch the game, but I will not allow myself to do that unless I get all of this stuff done today. Or I will not allow myself to watch TV tonight unless I read a half an hour. I will not allow myself to have a snack unless I exercise for 1 hour. Whatever it looks like for you, it's a very effective way to get it to work. So yeah, good point there. Thank you for that. Okay, well, that's it for today. I just want to get on and answer those questions. If you're just catching this at the end, go back and watch it from the beginning. If you have questions, if you're in the user group, post them in the user group. We have a post up there right now. We're going to do a live video in the next couple of weeks with answering all of the questions in the user group, or we might even break it into individual topics depending on the question. But you can also ask questions on the comments here, and I will come back and answer them in either a later video or in the comments. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Define your day to define your life, and I will see you again here very soon.